Greetings and welcome to the 1-6 Scale Man proudly presents. You know what it is. Collectors Lounge International. I know it took us a while to kind of get in here, but we're here now. And we're ready to talk. Let's go. Or greetings and welcome to Collectors Lounge International. You know what time it is. Time to have a discussion Sunday afternoon with you guys. You guys are here with us. And then, just shooting the shit right off the cuff. It's unscripted. This is how we basically do it. A lot of things to actually cover, but is there? Because again, we've already talked about Batman and Robin this week. That was released. Also, there is some controversy surrounding the Batman Begins figure. Probably talk about that a little bit, but I don't really want to drown ourselves in things that have already been talked about. I want to look towards the future, things that you might have actually been concerned about, things that you're looking forward to. It's the holiday season. I know there's some issues as far as money. What am I spending my money on? Am I finding things that I really didn't need to spend that much money on? And then behind the scenes, we were just having like a discussion, and it's like, we're going to talk about space. And the thing is, that wasn't even intentional. That wasn't even why I have one of my guests on here to get today, because he's good with space, and maybe perhaps he can actually help us with space and how to space things out. I was doing some cleaning yesterday, discovered that like shit, I found stuff that really maybe I didn't need at the time, or I thought I wanted, but maybe I didn't, and I could have saved some money. Kind of pissed me off, but at the same time, I understand because we're all going through it. But anyway, thank you guys for actually being with us. Let me bring in this incredible panel with us today. Again, you know what time it is. What's going on, folks? How y'all doing?
Oh, good, man.
Yeah, that's good. That's going. Oh man, it's all good. Costa, so good to have you here with us, man, this morning, bro. Fitting time it is.
Yeah, I'm super happy to be here. Thank you for the invite, and yeah, I'm excited. Let's talk some figures. It's been a while since I talked to with you guys. So
yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, man. And it's so good to have you here, my brother. Cam, what's going on with you, brother? How you doing, man?
What's going on, man? Another beautiful Sunday. Washington Commanders are not playing today, so I'm like I'm in the middle right now, but we still got football, we got collectibles. Yeah, be in the chat with you guys, man. Super excited to be here, bro.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for being here, man. I think I look back there behind your space. You're not having those problems yet.
Not
yet. But you're pretty good. You're doing well, man. And Shane, as always, man, good to have you here. What's going on with you, brother?
I'm looking over there like Cam's space going. It hasn't even started for you, brother.
Nah, it hasn't.
It's good. I'm jealous, man. I'm jealous. That's good.
I'm super jealous. I'm looking back here, but exactly right. I'm looking at it like, and Costa, I know for you, when you see that space, it's like, damn.
Yeah, I'm in a little bedroom upstairs in Philadelphia. Like, it's 10 by 13, maybe if I'm lucky.
Yeah. See, I'm down here in this basement, and again, I'm living amongst the D-top that goes like a mile long. But, again, it's still one of those situations whereas people can't see. There's boxes there. There's boxes over there. There's boxes here. There's a desk here. There's D-tops right here. There's boxes there. It's like it now is becoming one of those things where it's suffocating a bit because I want to have like those. I'm looking at everybody's displays and looking at everybody's spacing there. And I'm like, I want to have a level of space where I can, really, really breathe. I can, but at the same time, it's just still frustrating. So we're going to kind of talk about that like later on today, man, because I know it's going to be frustrating for a lot of people. But let me address the chat real quick, because I know we got some people out there that are kind of interested in, having this conversation today. We got Charlie the Unicorn. Damn, boxes are what kills my, garage space. There we go. AJ Grusa. We got our Castro in the building. Thank you for being here. Cam's out there. Shiny. Wayne B. We got William Owens in the building. Ken Carpenter is actually out there as well. Calvin Williams, my boy Cal. Can't wait to see you Wednesday. We got The Empire Strikes Again. Who else we got? Windman 42. Louis Labitz. We got Collector Chats. Collectible Chats. Blackbird Tech is out there. We got DC Fett in the building. Man, what is out there? Cos is out there floating around as well. Who else do we actually have in the building with us? Real Limes is in the building. We got, let me see, Benjamin Green. Benjamin, thank you for being here as always, bro. Some guy is out there. Six Scale Gallery is in the building. My bro, what's going on with you, man? I ain't seen you in a minute. Got to get you back on the show. Yomo is out there. We got Focus out there. We got, let me see who else. Fig Man is in the building. So good. And welcome here. Ryan Smith. Who else do we have? And my bro. It wouldn't be a show without Malika Bain out there. Thank you for being here, man. So glad to actually see you here. So yeah, I mean, we gotta, some things to basically talk about. Now, the topic of the show today was just kind of like more so a look to the future. Because the thing is like, how many times are we going to talk about the same things that have been drowned out like this week? And we're seeing like with the holiday, man, like now, I know here's the thing. It's frustrating for a lot of people right now because you're getting those notifications. Okay, this is dropping. That's dropping. How many figures did they drop last week? Like 6? Like literally it felt like 6 figures. Either they were figures that were announced or, that we saw, production photos for, or figures that people got notifications for that we haven't seen production for, like, Batman Begins. Still haven't seen production photos for it, but we do see it in hand for a lot of people. Some figure photos that have been controversial. We have also Hunter, like anybody who's a Star Wars fan, Hunter, they got their notifications for that. Batman and Robin dropped last week. That Iron Strange dropped last week. What else? I know I'm missing something. I know something else is basically out there that I might be missing, and the thing is we have this week. So it's like also predicting what's going to happen this week. It's crunch time. Money is being spent. I know a lot of us are like, damn, like I don't have what's going on? Like, why is this storm hitting? Maybe a lot of people didn't pre-plan. Even if you pre-plan, you didn't prepare for this. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I'm gonna start with you first, Cam. Cam, like working with, again, limited space right now, you don't really have to worry about that. And I think that both you and Shane kind of share this whole thing, whereas you are really focused in on certain things, very selective about pieces that you're going to actually get, which bodes well and works for you. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, even with that basically being said, do you feel as though still it's like you have to kind of muscle up and kind of dodge bullets because there's a lot dropping that you actually want? And it's just like, damn, like, give me some space to breathe to really decide on what it is that I want to actually have in my collection right now.
Yeah, I think when we see so many figures dropping all at once, we kind of get this like twitch or like jitters. You know what I'm saying? Even figures that I see out there now that aren't Marvel. I don't know if talking about it in the community or just taking second or third looks at the figures have really been kind of making me be like, oh man, this looks like really good. Like those. Yeah. The Batman Forevers are kind of like, they're kind of getting to me right now. And I'm trying to like steer clear because I feel like they're pieces that are never going to be released again. And I'm like, man, this does look good. Even my man with the baseball cup in his pants though. But I'm like, yo, I don't know. So for me, it's just been like trying to stay strong and not really, go after anything right now that I really, really, really don't want, or something that I feel like is about to be gone, tomorrow, type thing. Especially with the holidays coming up and stuff. I know a lot of us are looking like, all right, we got kids or we got loved ones we got to buy stuff for. So we're trying to put that, first priority. But for me, it's been super tough. Even though I am a Marvel only IP collector, these other figures are just looking really good too at the moment, because I haven't bought a new figure in a while. So for me, it's like I'm getting the itch, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, these deals, they might be gone next month. So
stay strong, man.
I know I'm trying. It's hard. Listen,
like Batman Forever. I did not like that movie, and you know who I collect, but I can still see where you're coming from, man. Yeah, these two look so good together. But you know what did it for me? Do you know what really caught me on? Besides not liking the movie, I was like, if I get that Robin, I will never feel like a real man around it.
Yeah, so true.
So I'm gonna skip that one. Yeah, I'll always feel intimidated by that.
I think these things were done so well. Like Batman, like literally and here's the thing is like I had zero interest in it because I didn't like the film. I wasn't really attached to. I mean, it's not that I didn't like it; it just wasn't for me. Batman, 89 Batman is always going to be, my version, the version that I kind of locked into and I loved for what it was and what it presented at that time. But you can't take away from the craftsmanship of these figures.
Yeah,
that looks like Val Kilmer. Like these figures,
100%.
like 100%, that is Val Kilmer. Like 100%, these characters are represented.
Yeah, the part that really took me out of it, or really got me with the Batman figure, is that I didn't realize that he actually came with white pupils too.
He did
all white out ones, and that's like,
wow.
That's how I remember Batman. And I'm like, oh man, you could switch them out too. So I was like, man, that's a super cool detail. But I was like, I don't think Robin comes with it. I'm pretty sure he doesn't. So
he comes with what?
The whiteout pupils. I saw somebody had posted it on Facebook.
That was like the sonar. Those are like the sonar eyes.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Is it these right here?
Aren't they? It has like a grid on them.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find this photo.
Oh, you found it? Or you have it?
Let me look for it.
But that looks like this right. And I was looking at this one right here. That's Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Like all day. You know what I mean? That is Val Kilmer. You know what I mean? So looking at it, it's like they look good. It just, for me, it doesn't have a space in my collection because I know when it comes to Batman figures, which figures I'm looking for. Yeah. That Batman Begins was one for me because, again, I get a chance to finally open up the tumbler that I've been waiting for. You know what I mean? So that's why that, even though that figure right now is met with some controversy because, there's a lot of people or some people who have actually seen it and they're going off of just in-hand photos from other people. So they're running with that. Whereas, for me, I have to wait till I get it in hand, especially if it's something I really want. If I get it in hand, and I'll be able to, pretty much tell you whether or not, it's something that, works for me. Shane, again, talking about these figures, talking about, the simple fact that, we may not have a high interest in it, but it becomes tantalizing once we see these figures. It's like, they look really good, but you're still not falling for, the FOMO. You're still not basically falling for, for me anyway, for as good as they look, I'm just like, nah, it's not, I don't want them in my collection, but they're beautiful figures. I'm not denying that. I can't say anything bad about it. Except for the over exaggerated Robin. You know what I mean? Other than that, again, I have nothing wrong to say about it. What do you think?
Man, Joao sent me a screenshot, a still from the movie, and it wasn't over exaggerated. It was there. the actual the screenshot from the movie, it was like, it's pretty damn accurate, man.
Yeah, it was there.
Look, this isn't a triple threat for me because I thought the movie sucked. But like looking at these two together, like this is it gives me that Batman 1966 vibes. And to be honest, I would prefer the Batman 1966 because that was supposed to be campy. I think this was almost like it was coming off the back of two good films from Burton. I remember watching this movie and going, I was a kid. I was just like 8 or something. I was looking at this going, where's Michael Keaton? Where's Batman? This is who's this imposter? Because it just was my first time in like being a kid, kind of realizing, okay, kid, things change. Like get over it. I remember being really like emotionally invested in this bloody movie, and I was annoyed that it wasn't the same. But I enjoyed it as a kid, but overall I don't think it's a good movie. But these two, you cannot deny, they look, besides the cape on Batman, they look really good. And I actually think, all jokes aside, the Robin is the star of the show here. That like pop of kind of like candy apple red and the green and the belt, and I think the Chris O'Donnell likeness is pretty good. And I think you can't get one of these. I think you got to get the two of them. But and I do think the production run will be lower, and I do think there'll probably be I'm going to say I do think they're actually going to be a grail in the future, but it's not how I collect. Look, they'd be fun to have, like, but no, I'm going to have to be strong on this and just not slip into the FOMO here. But they delivered. Hot Toys delivered. This is what they look like in the movie. This is what they look like in the prototype, and I think people are going to be really happy with these together.
Yeah, definitely, man. You're right. Like you can't have one without the other because you have to complete it. Like this is the only thing where you have to be in a sense of completionist when it comes to these two pieces because they look good together and they're supposed to fit together. So to have one without the other is just like, yeah, nah, it's not going to actually work. But again, these will be grails because they're not going to release these figures again. Like there is well, here put it this way. Depends on how Hot Toys works. But for right now, foreseeable future, this is the ultimate version of both those figures. And they took time enough to make these things the right way. Like they really like for the time that it took waiting on these figures, for a lot of people, it's going to be well worth the wait. You know what I mean? So even if it doesn't really articulate the way people want it to, but again, it doesn't matter because they look good, even in character poses. So Costa, man, what do you is this something, were these two figures that you were even going to get that you're thinking about getting, and do they fit the scheme of what you're looking for in your display?
No, they don't fit the scheme, but I would like to say that I'm loving this roller coaster ride that we're going through with Hot Toys is losing a step, or Hot Toys, these are, we had Doc Brown come out and it was just like a fiasco, and then we get the high of this where I think they look amazing.
Yeah, they do.
I can appreciate a figure without the the source, having a liking to the source material. I did not like the movie, and I tried to watch it a few months ago, and I couldn't get through it. Like I couldn't do it. But they are magnificent, and Shane is correct. That Robin, like, that's the first thing you see in any of these pictures. It's gorgeous. The color. I'm not talking about the piece.
Do you know what, Costa? This is what I perceive in my head. Sorry for interrupting you, but this is how I see this going. If I was to get these two and I was to put them up, like, it doesn't matter if it was in the middle prime real estate of Detox or the bottom or the left, and I bring some non-collector in, they'll just be looking around going, oh yeah, the head sculpt, it kind of does look like Robert Downey Jr. Oh, that does look like Michael B. Jordan. What the hell is that? I know that it will be overshadowed by Robert's package.
The package and the nipples were the thing of it's the 90s excess, baby.
Yeah, it was.
The 90s, like, it was like a lot of machismo and action, and we got to make our outfits represent that. Just go over the top. Because seriously, it's one of those things that even for nowadays with female armor, why do they need nipples? Like nothing. But again, these 4 figures, they are spectacular. The likeness, Val Kilmer, easy. You put that picture of them from like the shoulder up and like the movie picture, and then the same kind of picture the blogger did. It's very close. It's just the movie one, Val, a little bit more pale. But yeah, I like them. I will not them. But if you get them and you like them, I'm happy for you. This is what it's about. Like, it makes you feel happy. You like looking at them. I know I know the posability with these rubber suits, it's tough, but maybe we can pretend that we're going for accuracy of how the actors felt in the suits, because it's like Michael Keaton is like, there's no mobility with the neck. Those suits were just brutal for the actors. So yeah, congratulations. And you can pair this with Jazz Inc.'s 95 Batmobile. So like, it's just win-win-win for the people that are into this.
And that's the thing. Like, I'm looking at this photo right here, man. It looks like a movie still. Like, literally, it looks like it looks like the promo pics that we got back then in a magazine for these figures. You know what I mean? For these characters. You know what I mean? Like that. Like, literally, that's how beautiful. And I'm not taking it away, even though I'm not getting it. This is a beautiful ass figure, bro. Like, literally, that looks good. And I cannot take away from the way it looks. Even both of them together, it looks
they look really good.
They look really, really good. But that kind of goes into one of the questions that I wanted to ask everybody here too. because when we look at these figures, right, we're looking at this, but then we go back, and I wanted to kind of come out of this real quick to kind of take a look here. We go back and then we look at, for instance, because this was a conversation that everybody was having this week, Costa, was the Doc Brown. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we get figures like this that are beautiful, right? But then, and we'll come back to this in a minute, but then we actually get to that Doc Brown, whereas the conversation was a certain level of inaccuracies. You know, people were upset about. We'll come back to that too slightly. But here we're going to go to this Doc Brown, where people were actually talking about the slits in the hair, and you know they were upset about that. The expression, it should have came with 2 head sculpts. The cardboard containing unit that actually comes with you know what. My thing is, it's like we're talking about now, like we're seeing an era where some figures spot on, boom, they nail it. The next figure we see, there's like a level of, you know, well, why did they get it well here but miss the mark on this? Are we starting to see a space where Hot Toys is experiencing a lot of inaccuracies now? Like they're starting to become, like they're starting to they're not really exposing themselves, but there might be like a, you know, a certain level, whereas, you know, we're starting to see a level of weakness with consistency. I'm gonna stick with you first, Costa. What do you think about that? Do you think that we're starting to see some inconsistencies with production?
I mean, like on the surface, yeah, I guess, but like these figures were announced a long time ago, like a long time ago. I don't think Doc Brown was supposed to be out until next year, right? Or wasn't it moved up?
I think it was moved up.
I think this Marty and this Doc were like, I think these were rushed because they wanted to get that DeLorean out, because they were all announced right around the same time. And yeah, it took me a while to find an in hand of the what do you call it, the Back to the Future 2 one, because the prototype of the Back to the Future 2 one is different than the actual finished product, and they really did just you know, change they just did the same sculpt. Now you could call it lazy, or I don't know, like we don't know what their budget was for back then. Maybe they just needed to just throw out the same molds, put something together, because they had, you know, you're working on a budget, you're trying to figure out, you know, what your priorities are, and you know there've been some other misses, I guess, with the Loki, and that took forever, and I don't it's I think it's hard to I think it's hard to say whether something they're going through a pattern now when it was something that started like 12 months to 18 months ago. So I just like if you read for this Doc Brown, if you read the description, it said it was cardboard, but it's not like flimsy ass cardboard. It's like the same cardboard stock as the classic Spidey Man's diorama piece.
Yeah.
And I think we didn't have a problem with that because it wasn't an upcharge. Like the little the plutonium box was an upcharge. But it looks good. I mean, in the pictures, it looks good. How will it feel when I get it? I don't know. We'll see. And maybe I'll bitch and complain about it then. Or I just wish for this figure, I wish we would have put out the constructive criticism like 12 months ago when we saw all this stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of like after the fact.
I get it.
But, you know, it is what it is. You're not gonna. I don't think they'll be making another Doc Brown from Back to the Future 1 anytime soon. So you know, this is what we got. And to those that want to wait, they can wait. It's cool because it'll probably be discounted at some point. I'm sure they made a lot of them, but I don't. It's hard for me to say that that they're going through a phase of inconsistency when I don't know when they started the production on these, you know, these figures. And But it is, like I said, it's a roller coaster ride. One day it's like, yeah, and the next day it's like, what is this shit?
Like what? Yeah, true. That's very true. That's the thing is, it's like we it's like a cross your finger type of situation. Like, I mean, there's a few photos floating around with that Batman Begins figure, one that I've been highly anticipated, one of my most highly anticipated figures. And how there's some inaccuracies with the suit. It's not the matte black. On top of that, they didn't do anything with the cowl. It's still the same thing. How it might look a bit out of proportion. Like, there's a few things coming, but we haven't actually seen the production photos on it yet. It's rough. You know what I mean? Well,
I'm gonna say, like, was the Batman Begins one, did we know for a fact that would be classified as a 2.0 or a straight reissue? I think that's the thing. We didn't know exactly what was going to happen, because you got the DX19. They did a little, that came out. You got a little difference between the prior one. The Mark III, when it comes out, is going to be different. Maybe our expectations at the time were thinking, oh, they're going to improve it. That's why they're going to release it. But maybe, again, we'll throw out the cash grab thing. They just needed to put something out there and make some easier money, because the uncertainties at that time in China was like zero tolerance for COVID. And you don't know, like, we don't know how, they're trying to combat all that stuff over there. But it's kind of sad that if you were hoping for an improvement that we didn't, and there should be improvements every single time, even if it's a reissue. There should be improvements. A lot of time's gone by, a lot of technology's changed. Should be improvements. That's where they're at fault. They should do something,
some type of
improve them.
Got you, bro. Anyway. Got you. Shane, what are your thoughts on that, man? Do you think that we're experiencing a space where, potentially there could be a bit of inconsistencies, decline in the quality of certain figures? Do you think that maybe you would want, and we've addressed this before. I think I talked about this on Wolf Fox Vacations channel, whereas, he brought up, do we want less with better quality or more with lackluster quality? What do you think?
Well, I would definitely choose less with better quality. It's interesting. Costa just kind of like started me thinking there. With the 2.0 of the Mark III, they highlight that it's now the correct 1/6 scale. It's a bit taller. They highlight that it's an updated sculpt. They highlight that there's renewed paint apps, and then of course you have the base and all that kind of stuff, and increased articulation. They actually highlight that. Whereas at this, they didn't highlight. This isn't a 2.0. This is like they'd never done they'd done like the Back to the Future 2 doc, but they'd never done this one, from my understanding. Again, if I'm wrong, correct me in the comment section there. But also the Batman Begins, they didn't say this is a 2.0 and highlight this is new, this is new, this is new, and this is new. They didn't do that. Whereas for the Mark III, they did. Now for this here, from what I see, is the exact same thing. I think this is actually very close, if not exact, to the prototype. The two slits in the head, they're on the prototype. The kind of hair, which isn't white, it's more like a grayish blue, it's on the prototype. The expression on the prototype. The head sculpt, they didn't lie you, they didn't hoodwink us. It wasn't like the Loki, where it was like the prototype was stronger than what we eventually got. This was pretty much what you signed up for. So I agree with anyone who was saying, like Costa mentioned it, and I know Mr. Mom Collectibles Ryan has said it. The criticisms were, the time for that was when they first put this up for pre-order. So if people are kind of moaning now, it's like they didn't hoodwink you, they didn't blindside you. It wasn't like a Loki or a Stark where there was a difference between the prototype and the actual thing. This is what you paid for. This is what you got. I mean, that might sound a bit harsh, but it's like, that's just blunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But like the rest of it, the details, you get like 10 different tools, and you got like a spanner, and you get like a torque wrench and all this different stuff. The belt looks amazing. The remote control, I saw people giving out about the remote control. The remote control, the detail, it looks fantastic. The little pens and the paper clips and the maps. This still looks great. The cardboard thing, would bother me if I was paying the extra $20 for it. Like I think it should have been plastic at least, but it's the head sculpt. They probably should have. This guy, I think it was actually Dante or someone. I think it was maybe someone on Dante's stream or someone said this guy looks younger than Michael J. Fox. You know what I mean? Because he's supposed to look old, isn't he? He doesn't look old.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is he looks a bit, and that was another critique about the piece, is that the sculpt looks a bit younger, than what it was in the film. But I agree that they were rushing these figures out to get that, DeLorean out.
The best account I heard about it, the best account I heard in the last week was Ryan Carroll from Mr. Mom's Collectible. If you haven't subscribed to him, definitely check him out. He said, I love Back to the Future. It's one of like the 4 pillars of my childhood. This is exactly what it's like in the prototype. The time for criticism was back then. I still think they should have fixed the head sculpt, get rid of the slits, and made him look older and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, he's like, I'm a hypocrite because I'm voting my wallet. I bought this. I'm telling Hot Toys this is acceptable. So he said that he was still basically like, I know I'm feeding the problem, but it's like his argument was kind of like he wants the dock, and is there another version around? You get this, you can always get the head sculpt. If someone comes up with an absolute banger head sculpt, you might pay $300 for it, but
you could probably
depends
get
how much you
one.
love the franchise.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is right here nostalgia for a lot of people. So of course,
that's a movie poster.
Yeah, that definitely is a movie poster, bro. And then to have that, and again, the DeLorean's coming, which I want to hear the criticism on the DeLorean once that drops, if that's going to meet expectations, because that's
this doesn't go back in time.
Pretty much.
I know.
That's
but
probably
those wheels are gonna get like slaughtered because they're like, they didn't fix those. They should have fixed those.
Yeah,
Can I tell you one point though? And I mentioned this in my video during the week on this. I was really keen about this. I was never going to get this. I'm a fair weather Back to the Future fan. It's a classic piece of cinema. It's a classic science fiction. I've watched them numerous times. I really enjoy them, but I don't collect. Like Lael, I think you don't collect either. Back to the Future.
No,
but you appreciate the movies.
Yeah.
This particular release, I was looking at this keen because of the slits and the kind of youth in the face, and seeing would they fix them. Mm-hmm. And when they didn't, when it was in the prototype, those slits, and they didn't fix them, like, this was one of the reasons I didn't order the Doc Ock. I haven't ordered the Doc Ock yet. I really want it. I want to see if they're fixing that sculpt. This is another reason that Batman Begins, it's on my wish list, but I wanted to see, if they're going to fix those clips and the other issues you already mentioned. Yeah. So this here, when they didn't fix it, this was like the day before I was doing this video, I was thinking, maybe they're not going to fix the issues with the Batman Begins. Now it appears like they haven't, but I still want to look at the videos, and I, as usual, watch everyone's videos. But yeah, it's you really got to be paying attention to those prototypes, folks.
You do, and that's one of the things. One of my biggest things was, I'm like, all right, I know my purpose for the Batman Begins figure, what I'm going to do with it, and that's, again, it's mainly for the tumbler, and what I want to capture with that piece. If I'm looking for a, straight up banger of a piece that's, flawless in my opinion, I have the DX19. You know what I mean? So I have both versions. I'll have the Begins and the DX19. Both are going to serve their purposes and, the purpose in my display. You know what I mean? But again, it's one of those things where I have to see it in hand. And so far from what I've seen, because I've seen 2 sets of pictures. One was a block, like someone picked it up, they had it in hand and they were just showing it. It was hard to look at. The second one was someone who had it upright. They had 2 different pictures of it, one with the cape on, one with the actual head sculpt on, and it didn't look bad. I mean, aside from the simple fact that the suit itself was more glossy than the matte. But again, I was able to overlook at it, look at. Once I get it in hand, I'll be able to tell, whether or not it suits, what I'm going for and what I want. And that's, I mean, again, I've already voted with my wallet. I paid for it. So it's too late. You know what I mean? At this point, once I get it in the hand, then I can, it can be the deciding factor, but it is what it is. Cam, again, we look at these, figures that are dropping, and I don't know whether or not you were even interested in, Back to the Future at all. If this was something that you were going for, but again, I'm talking mostly about inaccuracies, or more so inconsistencies Are you starting to see it now that do you think it's becoming like a trend, or do you think that it's just kind of blown out of proportion?
Well, I think Hot Toys is really known for putting out products and then fixing it later on. You know what I'm saying? They usually don't, I wouldn't say they don't put their best foot forward, but there are numerous accounts and times where they've put out products and then they've gone back and corrected it. But if there was no complaints, like Costa and Shane said before on this figure, and a lot of people were voting with their wallets buying this product, then I mean, there's not really much you can say at this point. You know, it's kind of like too late at this point, you know, unless there's another product that comes out later on. But like you said, I doubt they're going to drop these again. Honestly, I think the Doc Brown looked really good. Until somebody said something about the holes in the head, I didn't even notice it, to be honest with you. Because I was like, all right, you know, that's a minor detail. I mean, of course, maybe he looks a little bit younger, but this also could be part of the production photos, the lighting. You know, until you really have it in hand, then that's really going to show how this figure is either going to shine or it's going to, you know, fizz out like a dud. The only thing that I had to pick out on this figure is they got my man Marty McFly in the What Are Those right now. And why doesn't he have the Court Visions on with the red Nike stripe on it? I mean, of course, you know, they can't have them because it's what's called. But I don't know if those are being.
They didn't even give Marty like the Cortez,
or either get them with the with the automatic straps.
It's a Miles Morales situation.
Exactly.
Because Marty looks like he has on bowling shoes right now.
He does.
Like he does. If you look at it, they look like bowling shoes. And
Oh man.
So you know what I mean? Like it is what it is. But I mean, aside from that, though, people are going to get the figure because they kind of want to recapture the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? And you know, for what it is and for what you're getting. But if we are voting with our wallet, sometimes, you know, now let me ask you a question. Let me ask everybody this question. Do you think that when we are voting with our wallet, then we have a right to want a level of perfection? Or is it the simple fact that like they're going to put these figures out and we have to accept it, whether we can pass on this figure or decide to get it. We have choices. So if we decide to get it, then we're accepting what they're giving us. You know what I mean? The only thing is, when it comes to like these figures, these are pre-orders that are actually set. The promise is that it's going to come close to the prototype that we actually see. So we're bound by that, unless you just say, you know what? Nope, I'm just going to wait till it drops and then I'll purchase it. Then I'll just take that risk. You know what I mean? But some people are bound by that because they pre-order these figures and they have the expectation that it's going to look just like, you know, the prototype. And again, when we saw it now, did the prototype look like this? I'm not really sure. Was the prototype the same way?
It was the same, man.
It was the same, right? It was the same.
Very close to the prototype.
Oh, there you go. So if it was the same, people were voting with their wallet. Okay, and what's the point is, if it was the same, then you were basically paying the money with the intentions that they would improve it, right? But they were telling you what they were giving you in the prototype, right? So I don't know. It's rough. Like, what can you do at that point, man? Like, you either buy it or you don't. You know what I mean? But I mean, do we acknowledge that the simple fact that there are a level of inconsistencies? I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. It's there. I know a lot of people are getting this figure because, again, they want it. They want to complete their line. A lot of people are getting that DeLorean, and I'm happy for you. Wasn't something that I was actually going to get because, again, I love the films, but I'm not really closely connected to the figure, so I'm just going to pass on it for me. But anyway, it is what it is. Everybody out there, whoever's getting this, you know, again, hopefully it works for you. Hopefully it's something that's going to actually work out in your display. I don't see too much of a problem with it. Again, some people will, but you know, it is what it is. I don't know. Next up though, so what I want to ask is, because I kind of had this, you know, on the docket as well. Is it so? Are we looking at one of those situations where all right, for right now, what figures that are actually coming next? You know, we're going to get into that in a second. What figures would you actually say are currently on your holiday wish list? And what figures are one of those figures where it's like, nah, I can wait till after the holidays and pick it up. Like, it's not something that I necessarily need. Do you have like a holiday wish list of figures that you want, that you feel as though you need right now, that you have to have, that you've been eyeing, and you feel as though, okay, I want that, whatever. Like, even with everything that's dropping right now, are there grill pieces you want to go back to pick up, or are there figures? Because again, we don't know what they're going to actually drop this week. Are there figures that you are really expecting now? Now, here's the thing. I say that by saying this. Cyborg has been delayed. I also heard that people said that Sam Wilson Falcon Captain America has been delayed. And Cam, I know you were you were looking forward to that one. That's been delayed. We didn't get notification on Yelena whether or not that's been delayed yet. Ahsoka's still basically roaming out there. Casa, I know you might be looking for that Ahsoka figure. What else did we have out there? That Wonder Woman 84 is still basically out there. A host of other that Luke, that Mandalorian Luke, is out there. That's also one that we can expect. And did we get any notification about the Chrome Mando yet? Like, is that one that's been delayed, or is this still basically waiting? So I'll ask you first, Shane. Like, what figure out of the batches or the ones that are coming soon? Which one are you? And Cole. Yeah, there we go. Cole. Yeah, waiting on that one. So again, Shane, which figure are you basically anticipating?
This is so. These are figures that haven't been released yet.
Haven't been released yet, but they're still on the docket for the remainder of this year.
Yeah, they haven't been delayed. I gotcha. The only one of those figures I actually have on pre-order, as in I bought and paid it off. I think I had this figure bought and paid off about a year ago, and it is with the Devil's Workshop, is the deluxe version of Ahsoka and Grogu from The Mandalorian. Yeah. Just a little side note, that episode, The Jedi, possibly the best piece of Star Wars media I've ever seen in my life. That opening scene in the woods. I'm going to go watch this again after this. Loved what they did with that, and Rosario's performance. So that is the only one that you've mentioned that I have pre-ordered that I'm expecting to drop. Now the thing is, the reason I'm not too excited about it is because I ordered it from a Devil's Workshop, and even though it's paid off and I paid off the shipping, even if it gets released today, I'll probably see it in June. I think I bought, like, I don't know, the 7th batch or something like that, however it work. So like that is one that I'm looking forward to seeing if they get it right. You know what I mean? Because I really don't want I don't want a kind of a Loki situation or a Tony Stank situation or an Ant-Man situation. And I say that as someone who, I'm going to pick up that Loki. I am. So I'm looking forward. If this drops tomorrow and they get it right, I don't care if I have to wait 3 months for it. You know what I mean? I'm really looking forward to this one. The Mando Luke is also on my radar. I haven't pre-ordered it because I'm looking to see how that head sculpt will turn out. Yeah. It's a strange one because you're looking to see how the head sculpt will turn out, but the head sculpt is based on CGI. Yeah. But as we've seen during the week with She-Hulk, they tend to do very well with CGI. Yeah. They look great. Yeah. That's the one I'm looking forward to. Yeah. So in terms of ones that, like, your question about things that haven't been delayed yet, that are due to be released, that haven't been dropped yet, this is the one. This is the one you're looking for. I'm looking forward to, but even if it gets released, I probably won't get it for a few months. And the Luke, I'm keeping an eye on the Luke too. And I think we might actually see these around New Year's or something like that.
Yeah, and here's the thing though, because this becoming one of those situations where we know when things are going to be, welcomed, or if they have the confidence behind it. With this Batman, with the Batman Forever and the Robin, they released those production photos straight away, boom, out. With the Loki, the production photos were released, but they didn't release the head sculpt. Like, they didn't release the unhelmeted, production photos on that at all. So it's almost like they felt as though there would have been, a bit of controversy from that. which is crazy. You know what I mean?
And it didn't help that the first photo looked like it was taken at 2 centimeters away with a fisheye lens. You know what I mean? It really, like the hairline is high, but it really exaggerated it then as well.
It definitely exaggerated it.
Yeah.
It didn't come across the way we thought it should.
Yeah.
And it created
and in the interest
problem.
of balance, let's be honest, it didn't hit the mark.
Yeah.
To be fair.
It didn't. And that's the thing, is like, you can't deny it. Now, again, I'm going to have it still in my collection because, again, I'm a hypocrite. You know what I mean? So I'm going to have it, but I
with
did
the
voice
helmet
my...
on. With the helmet on.
With the helmet on, looks
it
good.
It does look a lot better.
Yeah, it looks good with the helmet on, but without it, it's like, I'm good. I'm straight. You know what I mean? I have to be completely honest. I just don't want it without that helmet. I'll never take it off. Which, here's again, to be fair, I was never planning on actually having it with just the head sculpt. I was going to always have the helmet on anyway, for me. You know what I mean? Because I know how I want to have this figure displayed. But again, I mean, you're right. Like, it's, I don't know. And
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Oh
no, go ahead.
Sorry. It kind of comes back to your point about the inconsistencies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Cable is a classic example. I think Loki falls into this. And what I'm realizing more is that, like, I had that Cable on pre-order, bought and paid for, and I canceled because I'm like, I'm not paying $270 for it, because even though I wasn't going to have it the topless, shirtless look as my number one go-to display for 90% of the time.
Yeah.
They advertised it like that, and the body did look a bit bigger, and it was kind of going, okay, I could pose it like that sometimes, and then I could pose it with the t-shirt and the vest sometimes, and then obviously the poncho version is the best version. But when they took that away by making it that skinny, I was like, I don't think it's worth $270 now, because I don't have all those options. And I think Loki falls into that too, because I was really looking forward to posing him with the handcuffs, with that metal muzzle thing, holding the Tesseract. I thought that was it was a moment in the movie.
It was a decent look, yeah.
But now that they've taken away that, kind of, because the head sculpt isn't up to scratch, it's like, okay, now it looks good with the helmeted, but it limits the posing options. So therefore, I think I won't pay full price for it. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
So they're advertising different looks, and sometimes there are two examples of figures where you can't really, you could, but it wouldn't look as good as they let you believe that it would.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like you're taking away a moment that, or an opportunity to display it a certain way. Unless you're a person that can overlook that, it's kind of hard. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to say, I don't know, whatever. But I'm just hoping that with this Ahsoka that they don't F this up. Please don't. I would rather literally them actually put out, or actually just send us information this is being delayed. I would rather them do that than to rush it and get it wrong. Plain and simple. That's just where I'm sitting with it. Cam, is there a figure out there that you're looking for? That, I mean, I know I mentioned one that you were looking for, and that's completely
that was off my list now. But I was like, damn. Well, there's that one. Yeah. For me, it's definitely the Scarlet Witch.
Okay.
The Maximoff from
I forgot about that. That was another one.
Yeah. I think that's slated to drop, I think, December anywhere to February now. So it's kind of range now as far as
this one right now, because they didn't. Now, did they put out any? Did they send out? Because again, the only reason why I don't get any delayed information is because, like Shane, I got this through the Devil's Workshop. Also, I got Ahsoka through the Devil's Workshop, so they don't send out any type of disclaimers to let you know it's been delayed. But in the description here, it does say December to February.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it could possibly be delayed any further. So I don't know. You know what I mean? And they may not have to put out a disclaimer because they've already let us know. But it's just strange that you dropped the White Vision in the
you would think that would be the next piece that they drop as far as like trying to finish and complete a collection. Because we already have, of course, the Vision, the White Vision, and now this would be the last piece. So who knows way they work.
Yeah, and you want this actually to be consistent. Like you want this to be like this is the prototype, and it looks damn good. You know what I mean? And even like with the updated version from Multiverse of Madness, that looks hella good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does.
It does, but you want at least this piece to be up to snuff as well. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, what they do, and if we, it's going to be interesting to see what we get announced this week. That's what we're waiting for. Which I think one of those figures, we'll see a production photo definitely for Batman Begins. I don't know if they're going to actually send us if we're going to see production photos for Hunter yet, because that's another one that they, you know, that I'm waiting on, but I don't know. Yeah, like with her, again, you would have thought that they would have completed this line already. I thought we'd have probably had at least her and Vision first before White Vision, but
yeah, I thought so too.
you know what I mean? But
it's dropped that one.
Yeah, so again, I did forget about this one. I guess this is another one that we actually need. Koska, what is the figure you're most anticipating, bro?
So I pulled up my list of because I'm actually in the middle of making a video, and I went to Hot Toys website and got all the like the dates of releases or the quarters.
Yeah.
So these are what are supposed to be released by the end of the year. The like you said, the Wonder Woman 84, Ahsoka and Grogu, Captain America, King Shark, Mark III construction, Mark V suit up, Mark 42 quarter scale, Wanda from WandaVision, the XE suit Batman, which also was delayed, Cyborg.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Mando and Grogu, Mando Luke, Ultron from What If, and Yelena. Those are what were supposed to be released by the end of the year. The one that out of those that I would most look forward to, I guess I would have to go with the Mando and Grogu, because I didn't end up getting the first Mando and Child version. Plus, this comes with Pedro Pascal's head sculpt, which then you could also make a second figure, because I will keep that Mando helmeted and have the transport trooper's body. You know, put that on. Make two.
I got two of those. Yep.
Make two figures. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's the one out of these. Now, if we're talking other things that have been out already, I am back grailing and or back buying. Got a few things, but I would like I think the A New Hope Chewbacca and Han Solo. I think that's on my list, which part of me hopes that they do some version of them for next year for the Return of the Jedi, but if I have to go back, I'll go back and get it, but I will get it at a deal, because that's what I do.
Yeah, definitely, man. Now, did you with this particular version of Mando, did you get the exclusive version, or did you get the
all right,
the deluxe or the regular?
I just got the regular, because I played it out in my head. I'm like, do I really need those extra bags and the swoop bike handle, and am I gonna do anything with them?
Yeah, that's
probably not, and it's $40 difference. So like having extra Boba Fett armor that you can't really do anything with except have it, in a sack and him carrying. I'll never use those, and normally I do get the deluxe, but I don't know. I've come to the point where does it really? What accessory, like to upgrade? Am I gonna need these accessories down the road? I don't see me needing any of those accessories ever down the road. Like, but that's why I did it. You can go wild and grab the deluxe one. It's all what you want.
It's what
I want.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely don't need the deluxe.
I gotta say though, that whole that photo with him holding the kind of a control thing of the speeder bike with all the like in Costa knows,
Don't
but he's
do
like,
this
no,
to me.
no,
No.
never.
No,
But like
no.
that
Never
once that
pose.
I know it's only one moment, but I do think that looks legit. It's a total center. You know, it has the
Son of a
Boba Fett
bitch.
armor and everything. I get it. It's like one moment, but man, that does sucker me in. I gotta say.
So are you after the deluxe, Shane, or are you just going with the
No, I
regular?
haven't ordered it, man. I haven't ordered it because I didn't abandon my Beskar. I got my Beskar up there. Beskar up there, so I didn't abandon it. It's actually right above my brand new Eric Killmonger layout, and
I saw that. Yeah,
that head sculpt, man,
is crazy. Told you.
You know, I was watching Black Panther.
Oh yeah, I saw
before,
you got that in.
Watching Black Panther the night before. I went to see Wakanda Forever, and I was like, "It's obviously it's a great movie," but I was like, "You are my favorite part of the movie," and I was like,
Yeah.
head sculpt, man. It's one of those double takes. So I'm looking at
People were telling about that movie. They were like, "Yo, Black Panther is really good at making people love the villain."
Yeah,
like,
they are.
It's hard to not like the villain in both those movies. It's like,
exactly.
They just doing what they gotta do, you know. Like we all been there. So it's like,
definitely, bro.
Crazy.
And that's the thing, like with that head sculpt, because I remember like the controversy that surrounded that figure when it was first released, because they put out like some earlier production photos of the suit. They didn't show the head sculpt at that time. It was just mainly the suit. And a lot of people were upset and canceling orders and stuff like that. I was like, nah, I'm gonna stick with this. I'm just gonna stick with it. I'm gonna still roll with it. And they released it. I got that in hand, looked at that head sculpt, and I'm like 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. That head sculpt alone was incredible. Like it looks like Michael B. effing Jordan. Like literally. Yeah. It's an incredible piece to have. I'm so glad to have it. Like I'm deaf. And here's the thing though, with the crazy part about it is it sat on Sideshow for a minute before it was actually completely sold out. It was there for a minute.
But Leia, man, like people were paying $1,000 for the Mark 1 and it's sitting there. You know what I mean? People were going nuts for the Mark 5 and it's sitting there. Yeah. In fairness to the Mark 47, that sold out twice. You know what I mean? That's gone twice. Like, but like it
sits for a while, but it's I get it though. I get it. I went with the regular version because I didn't need all the excess. Because the only thing that I wanted, and to tell you the truth, spoiler alert for everybody who knows what happened with the Beskar spear. I was like, I really don't necessarily need that either. You could have just gave me a regular version with the head sculpt and I'd have been cool. I mean, it does come, I think, with the dark saber as well. But I mean, yeah, like my major draw for this piece was the head sculpt. And I'm hoping, here's the thing, please, you cannot get this wrong. Like you really, really can't. If anything, you can improve on it, but just don't get it wrong. So I don't know. We'll definitely see because
he's gonna come out looking like my name's Jeff.
Yeah, right.
And you'll be like, what?
Mando stank.
But here's the thing as well, right? If you don't want this one, isn't this like USB lightsabers? Now every Jedi or Sith has that. If it has a lightsaber, it has to be USB. They've set the precedent. So now, like, when season 3, when they inevitably release another Mando, doesn't he have to be Chrome? Would that be logical?
It would be, unless they give us like a totally different version of him right off the bat. You know what I mean? It would have to basically be Chrome. And from what we see, like even with like the trailers, it's the same suit. You know what I mean? If anything, I think this, from what I'm looking at, like it has to be like, and I know that they show it because they did a comparison, between both the suits, even but this would have to be like a bit more. It's not as Chrome as but it is Chrome. But I think it just needs to be a tad bit more. But hey, I'll get it, but not this particular version. And again, like I really actually just counted how many Grogus that I have in my collection. I literally have two of the Mandalorian speeder bikes, like the scout troopers with the speeder bikes. There's 2 Grogus there because I got the deluxe version. So it's 2 Grogus there. I have the Beskar Mando. I have the Durasteel Mando. And these things come with Grogu's. Even I have the quarter. I still got that quarter scale up there, and I have the deluxe or the what is it? The quarter scale statue of Grogu, like the one that we actually got from Sideshow. I have that piece too, the life size, whatever. So I mean, again, it's like I'm damn near Grogu out. Like I'm not even looking at that figure. I'm just looking at, I'm not looking at Grogu. I'm looking more at the figure, the Mando. But damn, it's
you're going to get a chainmail Grogu. Like you're going to get like a Beskar chainmail Grogu. Like it's going to happen. Like.
I'm surprised we didn't get like a handcuffed Grogu with Moff Gideon.
Bondage Grogu.
Right.
They're like every single Mando figure of that line gets a Grogu. You get a Grogu. Yeah. You get a Grogu.
Exactly. Like, why didn't we see that? Because I wouldn't even be surprised if with Cosca Reeves they give us a Grogu. Consider the simple fact that she say. That's what I'm saying. Like they just throw it in there. Like, I mean, mind you, it's nice little accessory to have, and we know that basically with Mando, you kind of grow to understand that it is going to come with that piece, so you can't really deny it. I mean, you understand that they're going to always drop that piece. There's going to be a Mando that's going to come with it. It's just, it's like, damn, like how many times do I have to actually have it? You know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll definitely see how it's going to go. But like these are the figures that are being released that we know are coming. But again, it's just like waiting for the announcement. And on top of that, the problem is also we know that Chinese New Year's is earlier this year. It's mid-January. You know what I mean? So again, they got to, if like, for instance, if this one is basically labeled, which I don't think it is, no, it's labeled December, January. So there's more of a chance of us actually getting this sooner than it is for the other figures that are labeled December, February. You know what I mean? So if both, Captain America, Sam Wilson, and, Cyborg are delayed till they're saying now February, whatever, that means we're not going to see those figures probably until like April, to be quite honest, like March, April. That's sad. Like, you know what I mean? That is really, really, really sad. So I don't know. It's going to be rough to basically see. But anyway, yeah, right. I know, Cam. I know, bro. I know.
I'm thinking about like, all right, so that means like probably like the Mark 1 is gonna be pushed back. Shang-Chi is gonna get pushed back. All these things are just gonna domino effect, So
yeah, bro. I mean, it is unfortunately what it is, bro. Like no, things that I feel as though they should have been paying attention to, they weren't. And now with this, when we go back, we're looking at this Sam Wilson, January to February, which means we're not going to see that until like March, April, to be quite honest, depending on who you got it. And Shane, unfortunately, I also got this figure through Devil's Workshop too, so which means it's going to be a slight delay. Even though I got it first batch, I have a better chance of getting it earlier, but still it's going to be a slight wait. So I don't know.
Yeah, slight wait might be an understatement.
Yeah.
Slight weight is definitely going to be an understatement. I want to talk about one other figure here as well. Two things I want to kind of move into here, because Costa, I want to get your take on this, because again, I visibly said, and I'm sticking with it, I did not like the show. I'll stick it there. I'll just put it there. I did not enjoy the show. I thought it was a miss for me. But, even though it was a miss for me, I cannot deny that the figure looks amazing. And I will have it because I'm separating the IP. And I always tell people I do this. I hate to reiterate, but I separate the IP the figure from the IP from the show. And I'm just going more so for comic accuracy. We have this She-Hulk here. Costa, is this something that you're going to have in your collection?
I'm not sure. I will say this. I like the show up to a point, and then it lost me. And I love absurd comedy. I love Airplane. I love the meta stuff. And it started out great, and then it just I feel I don't even know if they knew where they were going. But I'm gonna we'll give them a pass because it was clearly one of those pandemic shows that started, before, got delayed, and anyway. But the figure, I think it is spot on.
Yeah.
If the head sculpt comes out like this, if to go back and look at what we got on screen, it's Yondu area. It's Tarkin. It's Killmonger. It's I think it's fantastic. I love how they decided to make a new body for it because you had to. Like nobody has, the body like this. I hope that the joints and everything with the silicone and everything, it bends well and you can actually pose it. Because they're 6-scale action figures and not statues, but they did a spectacular job, and I'm loving the Daredevil behind it. So it's this one's a tough one because I love the look of this.
Yeah, bro.
It'll have a presence in your case, no doubt.
It is,
no doubt.
It is. So. It's definitely going to have presence in your display to the point where I love it. I love the figure so much that I'm almost damn near considering getting two to do this. Yeah. I am I'm not going to lie. I am definitely a She-Hulk comic book fan. I've been collecting her comics since earlier ages, like basically even when it was first released and then she was introduced. So again, I've always been a She-Hulk fan of her, just basically her contributions to the the comic universe, the comic concept of it. But yeah, I kind of separated it from the show itself. Shane, is this what do you think about this piece, bro?
This is so good. Leah, you know how I feel about Batman Begins and the Dark Knight trilogy. And obviously initial photos from that figure aren't good, and I'm looking at that going, come on, this is like your third attempt at this figure, and you can't fix the clips. And this figure here looks way more complicated. This She-Hulk looks way more complicated to produce. But I'm not going to talk about the show. I don't think I have to explain or vocalize what I thought about the show. But the figure, they've got the height right. They've got the body proportions right. They've got the skin tone right. The head sculpt looks exactly like it did on screen. The sculpted hair looks good. The outfit and the tailoring looks good. I love the shoes. You got some rolling eyes eye function. It's another female character. The definition on the quads.
Yeah.
I'm going to try not to sound inappropriate here, but with a figure like that being seamless, you might just have two pieces of green plastic, but they've really put in the definition of the quads above the knee, and I hope that translates into the real figure because it's just that attention to detail. It's seamless. The seamless wrists, they're not seamless wrists, but they look seamless.
Yeah, perfection there. Yeah,
and I think Pajama Hulk here. That's the end game Hulk.
Yeah, man. The hell. They make
that's on discount everywhere. But I reckon this is going to cause that to bottom, and now it might actually stabilize or increase because people were like, okay, you could pair the two of them together. I do think that the Daredevil will pair better than this because of the height difference and the contrasting colors. I do think it's a better pairing. The Daredevil in this, but this is super looking. If it turns out like this, obviously I'm not going to pick it up, but it's good.
It looks good. It definitely looks good. They nailed, the only thing that, I have absolutely nothing to say. Bad to say about the figure. The only thing that I would have done is added a separate head sculpt to give her more of a serious look at certain points. Because there were points in the show where she, did have that serious look, especially fighting wise. It's she's not going to be smiling the entire time. You know what I mean? So again, that's the only thing. But other than that, I think this thing is beautiful. Cam, I know you got to add this to your collection.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. This thing looks so good. The way they were able to, like Shane said, not just put two green sticks and make it, as part of the body, but the definition that they added in there, and then still to be able to make it seamless. especially after we saw what they did with egg sandwich Harley. I was like, oh my God, if we get egg sandwich knees in here, I'm gonna lose. And thank goodness it's not like that at all. My only concern would just be like posing it, because we've seen how the material holds up sometimes, like the Shuri figure. So I just wouldn't want to put any wear and tear actually on those ligaments or those limbs. But I mean, they should have not put this next to the Hulk, because now they make the Hulk look like a rat. Like it looks so good compared to the Hulk. Like even the bodysuit, like the Hulk's bodysuit looks like it's padded.
Trash, like bro. 100%
definition, skin tight. Like it looks like just like the show. So I wasn't a super fan of the show. I mean, like Costa said, up to a certain point. It was like watching 3 seasons of One Tree Hill with my wife over and over again. So I was like, it was like good. It had some action in there, you know, not really fighting, but it was good. I liked it up to a certain point. So the only thing I would say, like you said, is like if it came with another head sculpt that had like her down to business type face, then that would have been cool too. But other than that, I'm definitely adding this to the collection for sure. It's
definitely going to be a piece that you would want to add.
Does the cell phone say have a text conversation with Daredevil that just says "you up"? Because they need that. That would be like.
I'm trying to figure out why they showed us the Kevin on the side. Does something come with Kevin?
I know, like is there going to be like a Kevin?
Go back to the picture with the Kevin, because I must have missed that. Like,
yeah,
are you going to release that? I wonder.
Who's like Kevin Feige? He's supposed to be the robot, so it's like.
Let me go to that one real quick. There it is.
Because usually that's like a snippet of they show us. Like
I'd buy it if they make the Kevin, I'd get the Kevin and I'd have to. As much as the finale I did not like, I kind of dug Kevin. It's such a weird, it's such a weird thing. But Kevin was the best part of the finale.
I thought it was MODOK coming. I was like, oh, MODOK's here. And I was like, that's a weird version of him. No face.
Exactly. Like, I don't know. I mean, I separate the figure from the show, and I think it's a beautiful piece. You know, like I said, I don't have a critique. It's just I wish they would have added a separate head sculpt, but for what it is, it's amazing. And again, I'm glad they went with sculpted hair, because had they actually gone with, you know, rooted hair, it would have been a mess. It would have been like, no, the sculpted works better, and I'm glad that they made the choice to do that, because it looks 10 times better. It looks really, really good.
She has volume in her hair. Like, her hair isn't straight down. It's kind of that big wavy kind of.
Definitely.
It's simpler.
Hot Toys is just like their sculpted hair recently on these female characters. You know, with the braids, Valkyrie, Reva. They're getting
nailing it.
Just so good.
But even the Killmonger, when I had the head sculpt in my hand yesterday, I was just like touching the top of the hair with the braids, and I was like, I can't tell if this is plastic or is this actual hair. Like, it's bizarre. Like, it's so well done. It's just like one of the better head sculpts. Like,
and it's the same thing they did with Shuri. That Shuri, the head sculpt on the braids on Shuri it's amazing. I'm like,
it doesn't feel like plastic. Like,
nah, it's really well done, and it looks well. It looks like, I mean, literally looks like you're looking at, like, you know, rooted, or the hair is stitched nicely well. Like, it's so good. And this, like you said, the volume in her hair, you can see that. And they do the sculpted really, really, really good. You know what I mean? So again, you know, if they had gone the route of rooted, which, you know, when you think about it, you know, the golden armor, I compare it to like the golden armor Wonder Woman. Like, of course, they couldn't have actually done sculpted hair with that figure, unless you basically give us 2 head sculpts, one with the crown on or one with it off. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they went the route of giving us rooted, and, you know, it is, you know, able to futz around with it to make it work. But they wouldn't have been able to pull that off with this figure at all. Like, literally, no. So going this route with it made more sense. But it looks good. Like, it definitely looks good, and it is definitely something, a piece that I'm going to have in my collection. And I cannot wait. I can't wait for it. But I have to wait because it's probably ain't gonna come till 2025.
Like, yeah, well,
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, yeah, they're definitely going to delay this. So it's not. Now, one other thing that they actually surprised us with this week, again, they labeled this phase 2, which I'm like, all right, okay, I get it, but are we going to get those figures and everything that they actually have listed on here? Now, I know that a lot of people were wanting to finally actually have a Padme in their collection, but the surprise was to see that we are also getting a Padawan, Anakin soon, and that was this coming soon, phase 2 of Attack of the Clones. Like, all right, so let me ask, I'll start with you first, Shane. Seeing this and seeing it labeled phase 2 and seeing the list of figures that they have here and just seeing these in general, do you think that this is really going to happen?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that it's going to happen. And I think they're going to do the same thing they did for phase 1. I think they're going to dump them in one dump overnight. Like, here's Anakin, Padme, Mace, and the battle droid. I think it's going to be just like, here's the second phase, guys.
Oh yeah, they did do
drop.
that.
Yeah, because they did that. Now, it was May 4th or in around then, so maybe that's an argument for against what I'm saying. But they promised it back then. I think it would make sense to dump all these together and just break the internet again. Yeah, and I'm really, really, really looking forward to seeing it because I know how badly the community wanted Padme, how badly they wanted a Mace, how badly they wanted the Padawan Anakin, and the battle droid is just another droid. Like, it's the year of the droid. How many droids have been announced this year? So I think this is happening. This isn't no tease. That's happening.
It's basically going to get dumped. So yeah, I mean, it definitely took me by surprise. But you're right, because I think the pictures that we saw first were it was C-3PO and R2, right? I think that was the first thing that we actually got, the first thing that they actually previewed, and then the only sneak or snippet that we got of Mace was from the battle droids. You know what I mean, that we got, and then they dumped that. They gave us the clone pilot, and then they gave us the clean versions of the clones, the shinies. I mean so they gave us those. So yeah, I mean, we did definitely get a dump when it came to Attack of the Clone figures. So they might actually follow suit and do the same thing with these, because it says coming soon and they have all 4 of them labeled at the bottom, which I'd definitely be happy with. Costa, do you seeing that this is this something that you're anticipating, or are you just like, I don't know?
They better, so that I can be 5 out of 10 on my predictions video of 2022. Damn it!
He's like,
they also better, because I want all of these figures.
Hell yeah.
I like the surprise with the Padawan Anakin. Yes, and having them together, like, you can do the whole Geonosis thing. Especially that we're getting the Geonosis. Well, yeah, we're getting Geonosis R2 and 3PO and all that. So, and the Mace. Oh, please.
Yeah.
Bring it on. I want them all. I don't
play.
Do it already. And I'm hoping last time they did the preview and we're like, they're gonna. I can't wait to see when this happens, because sometimes they won't drop the actual announcements until like months after the preview photo that they put, or never. And that's why we're having this discussion.
This is true.
But the last time they showed the preview, and then 2 days later, boom, all the figures were available. So I hope that happens this week. Or next week. I'll take this week or next week. Or by the end of the year. I'll just take the month of December, the rest of it. Come on, Hot Toys. Let's get these going. I also and now I'm gonna gripe a little bit. I want would like Jesus Obi-Wan, please. If we're doing this 20th anniversary, I need
true. Yeah,
Jesus Obi-Wan. You got part of it. Like you have the Clone Wars Obi-Wan that also still needs to be pre-order announced for pre-order. Can we show some Jesus Obi-Wan love? Because I would think more people would buy that version of Obi-Wan than the Obi-Wan TV show version of Obi-Wan. But anyway, that's my little gripe.
So you said the Jesus.
It's little.
You said, give us the Jesus. You got to give us Jesus. Because that's what it looked like.
He looks, come on.
He did.
Ewan McGregor with that beard and the long hair. And the robes.
He even admitted that they were calling like a couple of times that he would go to somebody's house and they had a picture.
Oh, Ewan did?
Jesus, yeah. He was talking. Yo, it's
Come
crazy.
on.
You got to give it to us, though. Straight up, you have to.
Give us the Jesus Obi-Wan.
Give it to us. All right, so here's the thing, Cam. I know that this isn't basically like in your wheelhouse, but come on, bro. They're going to give us the Sam Jackson Mace, bro.
And we talked about this back in May, bro. I was like, Mace Windu, bro. Like,
yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
damn, get it. Come on.
Yeah, right.
Man, and then we even talked about, matter of fact, Padawan, Anakin coming out too. And like, were we just too far ahead? Like, what made them hold back and be like, oh, we're not going to release these. Let's skip 7 months and then we're going to surprise their asses with it after the anniversary. But
after the anniversary,
that's just how they do it. I'm hoping, honestly, that they do a part 3 as well. Like, give us a Kit Fisto. You know what I'm saying? Throw in a Count Dooku. You know, like, go ahead. Yeah. Just keep going. Why not?
Like, make
for one more year. Keep just stringing us along at this point. But I'm not getting both of these though. But they look good. They look really good. They look really good though. And you guys are going to be super excited to add these to your collection. I'm telling you, like this.
Thanks so much, Cam.
Yeah.
Bro,
I was really excited.
You was giving me hope because you was talking so.
I know. I was like,
no, I'm with Cam, man. I'm with Cam. Like it's,
not a triple threat.
Be strong. Be strong. This is what everybody been waiting for. And then once we saw that Natalie Portman head sculpt. Well, half a head sculpt that was released for the Thor, Mighty Thor. So it's like, all right, why are we not doing a Padme at this point? And finally it's coming to fruition. So
you know what? You just brought something. You brought up something just now that I wanted to kind of bring up too. If I can find the photos, if they even have them here. But all right, from here, we know that they actually had. I forget what this was. That Moon Knight looks good too. I can't wait to get that.
It's really good.
Forgot about that.
Do you know the moon in the background? I didn't realize it was more like a translucent. That actually.
Oh, really? I thought it was like solid gold type.
It looks whatever they did with it. It looks classy. Like
no, it looks really good.
I want to see. I don't think they have it in here. No, they don't. But this looks so good.
Yeah, it looks so good.
It's see through it. I'm right. You can see through it.
It looks more translucent.
Or is it the reflection?
It's the reflection off of the glass itself.
Right. It looks good though.
Yeah, so this is definitely high up on my list. But also they had like pictures of the Valkyrie, Thor, and Mighty Thor.
Yeah, they were up.
Up there.
Yeah.
And because I saw, like, I was on Mafia's channel last night. We had a show last night, and you see that?
I was trying to keep it together, but Costa was just like having none of it. I just couldn't. He just set me off, man. I was triggered.
That was crazy. But I
wonder what they were talking about.
Right.
It's so big. like straight up, right? But
it's cape. That's what
there you go. About. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. But they showed pictures of the Valkyrie and the Mighty Thor, and it looked good. Like it definitely looked great. So again, what Joe Mama's Dick Grayson, bro.
His name. That is his name.
That's his name. Like straight up all day, man. This is how it is, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that Mighty Thor looked really good. So I'm guessing that again, you have the head sculpt, it's going to look really good. They got the licensing for it now, and I guess that's what took them so long, is the license for the likeness.
No.
And now that they have it, Ewan McGregor was one thing, I mean, we talked about it, but I didn't think that they were going to actually do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're doing it. So I'm like, okay, I'm definitely all in for it. As a collector, I know me and Costa, at least, damn it, I'm not by myself. Costa, you're right here with me, bro. So we are both in on these pieces, man. Them two down there, we already know they're not going to get it, but at least I got two, bro. So that's how it is.
They need to go to therapy and talk things out.
We'll watch a couple hours of Star Wars today and see if it.
I hate sand. It gets everywhere.
I should have wore that shirt. I have that.
They're going to give him the sand base.
Oh my
God! Don't say that.
They might.
No, they probably will.
Honestly,
yeah.
They'll give him a Geonosis sand base.
Yeah. Now the question is, and which they'll probably won't do, they won't give us like a battle damaged Padme with the shirt ripped, with the scratch on her back. They probably won't do that. But I mean, just to have a Padme in my collection, period.
Yeah.
Finally, I'm happy about. So again, it's going to be a nice display. I can't wait. It just depends. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you think they're going to make the announcement this week, or are we going to see it like later on, like maybe after the new year?
It'll be this year.
You think?
I think it's going to be this year.
You think it'll probably be this week, possibly?
I think it could be. I reckon it's going to be in before the end of December, because that was the kind of thing that they set out to do. I believe back in May they said like more coming. I do think they're going to do it this year because it's marking the 20th anniversary.
When's Force Friday?
Pardon?
It's
Force Friday. Is it this week? This month?
Didn't know it was a thing.
Yeah, because isn't Force Friday in December normally?
Is it because that's when they usually release? Well, when they made movies.
They would release like all the
December,
Star Wars,
the new versions. Yeah.
Yeah, they would release like all.
No, it's September 4th, I think, is it?
Yeah, September.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
Force Friday, yeah.
All right, I thought they did something like that in December, but okay, well, yeah, well, yeah, you're right. So, all right,
they're gonna like dump them Christmas Eve for you guys at midnight and be like,
yeah,
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've been waiting.
I don't think they put a tease out before the end of the year without actually having something ready.
Yeah.
So I hope this week, if it's anything like when May the 4th rolled around, they did it a few days before May the 4th, and then you got them. I know that's a different holiday that we celebrate, and not Christmas, but but yeah, I think it could be this week, and then a couple more releases. I think that's what maybe this week will be more announcements, because the last 2 weeks have been more releases with like an announcement sprinkled in.
Yeah,
so maybe that's what we'll get this week.
Okay. Yeah. I can definitely foresee that. So you're right. You're definitely right. Hopefully, like I said, I mean, hopefully, like we'll get something like that. So I can't wait to see. But I mean, the anticipation is there. I can't wait to see what they do. I just hope they do something. Plain and simple. Just do something. I don't care what you do. Just do something. Give us an announcement. Give us whatever. But just do something. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Do something. Give us something. But anyway, great show, guys. Thank you for basically being here. It was nice to actually have this chat. We went over it really nice, smooth. Everybody out there, thank you for being here. One other thing I wanted to mention too, I forgot to mention at the top of the show. But again, we are still going on ahead with this just to kind of put this out there so people are, that you recognize it and you know what's going on. And again, that's just to talk about the Christmas initiative that is still happening right now. All proceeds, super chats, everything that we get goes towards making sure that kids can enjoy Christmas, families can enjoy Christmas, and it's all about paying it forward. So just wanted to put that out there. The Christmas initiative, all donations, that we basically receive will go towards that, super chats. And on top of that, even if you don't, just think about this: buy a toy. Buy something that a family would need that they probably can't afford, and just give it to them. Pay it forward that way. That's how you participate. You don't have to basically donate anything here. You can buy a toy and just donate it that way. I think that works as well. Just want to put that out there. So anyway, thank you guys for being a part of this and making that happen, because it is something near and dear. But just remember, after Christmas, all donations and proceeds do not go towards buying anybody drinks for New Year's, because I don't do that. So it's not going to work. That's definitely not going to happen. But anyway, thank you guys for being here. Costa, what you got coming up on your channel, man?
I am still working on making this, doing a video for this little case. Now I have like 2 other versions of it, so the video is getting bigger. So if you're running out of space, I decided, because I have this little room, I needed to find out where I could shove more figures. So there's parts on my wall that I can hang these little cases up on.
Yeah.
And so I'm working on a video for this. These are also stackable, and you can connect them. Like, they're connectable. So it's a really cool little thing I'm working on. Anyway,
bro, please let me know when you're ready to put that video up, because I definitely want to watch it. Because again, and I love the simple fact that you are right around the corner. Like, you are not too far away from me, like an hour away, and I can actually come and say, like, yo, let's go shopping real quick. I need you to help me out.
Yeah, man, I'm here all the time. So yeah, and if you don't want to make a little case, there's videos on making them bigger. In fact, one video that I made, you can make any size case from it. So if you want to like match a DF 120 or a DF this or a 6 scale that, you can do it, because it's this one little simple video. We'll show you how. Or these videos. A lot of people have been making these and posting them online, and I'm thankful for this community that has like embraced this. It's crazy how many people have done this and sent me pictures of their stuff, and it's been amazing. I will also be doing, and now I'm kind of like bearing down. Once I get these other case videos out, I'm gonna like focus on doing some, reviews and stuff like that. So just come over, click the subscribe, hit the bell notification, like they all say.
Hell yeah.
And we'll have some fun.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah. So definitely.
Thank you for inviting me. I always love hanging out with all of you guys. I love the back and forth, and you guys are just like so wonderful. So thank you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for coming, man. It was good to have you here, bro. Cam, what's going on with you, brother? What you got going down, man?
Yeah, man. I'll be going through all of Costa's videos today. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'll be going through all his videos so I can make sure I can utilize this space behind me currently right now.
Hell yeah, bro.
So I can set up some of these figures and collections. Can't have these dust bunnies blowing all over my figures and stuff. So yeah, man, I'll probably do another episode, the new depending on what we have releasing this week. And I'll be dropping some new photography photos that I actually took of a couple of my figures. And then I'll also be back on Say What on Wednesday with you.
Yes, let's go.
Thank you for having me as always, man.
Definitely,
great seeing these guys. Feel like I haven't seen y'all in a while.
Definitely, man. So glad to have you here, bro. If you haven't already, Costa and Cam, subscribe. And again, Cam, we need to get Cam to 1,000 or even close to it by the end or before the end of this year. So if you haven't already, people, please subscribe to Cousin Cam's collection on IG and YouTube. Make sure you actually go ahead on over there and do that. So bro, thank you for being here.
Appreciate it, man.
Shane, what you got going on, bro?
First of all, thanks very much for the invite, and it's always great being here on a Sunday. And it's actually quite nice coming up to Christmas now when everyone's kind of getting the Christmas vibe. 105 people in the chat, folks. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already.
Let's go.
I also just want to recognize as well, like Leo's been running these initiatives for the last 3 months, and basically forfeiting the super chats for his channel. That is pretty admirable. So he could just take that money for himself, the kind of thing, but he doesn't. He chooses to donate that to children, whether it's for Halloween or Thanksgiving or for Christmas. So that is massive. So I just want to recognize that as well.
Appreciate that, bro.
And thank you to all the people who are over the last few weeks and months donating to the good cause. What's coming up on my channel? I'm going away for Christmas, so I want to kind of make videos and post them and schedule them for the time I'm gone. So there's still some content being fed in. So I'm going to do my kind of top 5 pickups. And again, my top 5 pickups mightn't necessarily be figures that have been released this year. Then I'm going to do my top 5 pickups that were released this year, and then I'm going to go through my top 5 or top 10 figures, and I'm going to take a bit of data from the subscribers and stuff like that over what they think. So I'm going to let them have a hand in. So there's multiple different videos, but like top 5 pickups, top 5 figures of this year, in my opinion, top 5 figures with influence from the channel as well. The channel will vote. Doing a bunch of shorts as well, like on the channel as well. And tomorrow, 8 o'clock my time, which is, I think is, let me do the maths on this, 3 p.m. Eastern time, and I believe midday West Coast. I'm gonna go live and do a live stream as well. So yeah, and the Mark 1's coming in. I have it. Got in from Lion Rock Toys, so I'm waiting to do an unboxing review on that.
Boy. So, it's right under the tree. I swear to God, that thing is sitting there. Brand new box is basically waiting there. Here's the thing is I got that, and Wednesday, my Queen Studios Wonder Woman quarter scale statue shows up. So I'm super duper happy about that.
It actually made it.
Yeah, bro, it's finally going to be here. It arrives on Tuesday. It might get here tomorrow, but it's going to arrive on Tuesday. Vision will actually be here on Tuesday too, the White Vision. So that actually be here. And then also Friday, Batman Begins actually arrives. So yeah, that'll be here. So yeah, it's gonna be a busy week, man. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Shane on 16 Figure Focus on IG and YouTube. Make sure you do. Great content over there. Subscribe to all these guys that you basically see here right now, because again, like I said, we put time and effort and bring you content to make sure again that you are entertained. We want to entertain you, but we also want to actually give you some good info so you can carry on your day. Anyway, thank you guys for being there. Thank you for everybody out there for tuning in. It's been a great show. Again, what I got coming up tomorrow, comic book talk with friends, of course. Wednesday we will be talking about whatever's released this week. Gonna say what? You already know what it is. I think we'll actually have Uncivilized Scoundrels this week. I'm not really sure. I got to check with Mario. And then also Figure Flex Friday. So again, thank you guys for basically being here. It's been a blast. And yeah, we are checking out. Y'all have a good rest of your day. If your favorite team's on, I know me and Cam get a pass this week. But again, if you're watching football, hope your team wins. And yeah, all that good stuff. Anyway, we are out. Peace and love. Talk to you guys later. We out.